option as well. Okay. Hello everyone. I hope you are doing well. I don't know why my camera is not working. So before we begin today's session, so I think you guys were there last time. Vandana, Bhumi, Payal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Payal, you are there. Yeah. Vandana, Bhumi, are you there last time? I hope I am audible.
Perfectly audible.
Vandana and Bhumi, are you there, guys?
Yes, sir, we are here.
Okay, okay. So please, can you introduce yourself briefly before we begin? Since
I am Bhumi Gupta. I'm completing my agriculture engineering from
okay,
SRMIT, Lucknow.
okay, okay, perfect. Okay, okay then let's begin our today's session.
Yes.
So, welcome you all once again. I am Karthik Jadhav, currently Prime Minister Research Fellow in the Department of Water Resources Development and Management, IIT Roorkee. So, we are basically here to learn about soil science and technology subject, and this course is basically conducted by Professor Chakravarti from AGFE department, IIT Kharagpur. And this is some basic information about me, my contact email address. So if you have any query related to this subject, you can directly email me on this given email ID. I will try to return this mail within 24 hours during working week. Yeah, so these are some basic brief bio of me. So I'm also agriculture engineering from. I did completed my bachelor's in 2019 from Anand Agriculture University. Then I moved to IIT Kharagpur for my MTech, and currently I am pursuing my PhD. Before that, I also worked as a junior research fellow in WRDM department, IIT Roorkee. Okay, so this is the course outline. So currently we are at week two, revision of week two, or we are solve in today's session. We'll solve the problems related to the weeks two content. So and on week one, we basically started with the basics of soil science and technology, like why we need to learn this subject, why it is important for us, right? So we got to know that soil science and technology, it contains various topics that are important to learn to solve the many real world challenges related to the soil and water, right? Then we have started with the basics of soil formation, and for that we shown various kind of weathering, either it is a physical, chemical, or biological weathering. Then we move to the soil formation and development of soil profile. Now we are on week two. So basically, once we have the developed soil or undeveloped soil, uh, that we need to classify, because on this world we have lots type of soil are available, right? So we need to classify them accurately. Why we need to classify? Suppose in world we have the different kind of population, right? Different kind of region is there, but we have classified ourselves as Indian, right? In India also we have various states. In states also we have district. Then in district we have various talukas, and then we have our individual homes. So lots of diversity, uncertainty, or we can say variability is there. So we need to classify ourselves also as it as like that. We also need to classify soil system, right? Why we are classifying us? Because at top level, management level, we can easily distinguish like what kind of strategies, policies we can apply, right, to particular region. So similarly for soil also, once we have the proper classification, we know the soil, like what is its properties in terms of physical, chemical or biological. So once we have this data, we can easily deal with the various applications of agriculture, right? Then apart from that, we can also manage our soil resources effectively, like during soil and water conservation structures measurement, and also it can help to develop various infrastructure project. So basically in this week 2 content lecture, we saw the basics about soil taxonomy. Then soil taxonomy classified as various kind of orders, suborders, then groups, subgroups, like that. We already discussed that. We'll touch them briefly in upcoming slides. Then we have covered important topic related to the soil classification, that is soil color and soil texture. Also, at last, we end up with the soil texture. So let's begin today's session. So in lecture 6, what we did, we started with the basic of the soil taxonomy, right? So soil taxonomy means classification of soil in simple term, right? Classification in terms of its colors, its texture, structure, right? Its organic property and other properties, chemical properties, we can say. So basically, we earlier we started with the history of soil classification. So in that, we can found that there are earlier it is classified as the based on the economic value. Then physical classification like sandy soil, silty soil, clay soil. Then also apart from that, we have the chemical classification. It means acidic soil, basic soil, alkaline soil, like that. Then we have the geological classification and physiographic classification, and we can classify a number of times based on our use. So first, the modern system of soil classification is given by the Dokuchev in 1870, right? So he is the first person who classified the soil, and he divided the soil into the three categories. He named first as a normal soil, also known as the zonal soil, and basically it is the formation influenced by climate and vegetation. Okay, while second we show it is a transitional, so it also known as the intrazonal. So in this more developed, this soil is basically more developed than azonal soil. Okay, and what is azonal soil? So azonal soil is also known as the abnormal soil or poorly developed, or it is underdeveloped condition. Okay, so after that, we got to know that this approach was entirely based on the principle of soil genesis and role of vegetation and climate. Okay, it not consider any properties of the soil itself. So there is some limitation. So that's why what we need to do, we need to reclassify the system or to include more number of parameter in this classification. Again, Morbert's morphological classification system came, so it again included the soil morphology and soil genesis, but introduced the grade soil group. So basically, he divided this classification in more detail. Okay, and again, but this is also based on the soil morphology and soil genesis only. Okay, that's why we need to classify soil with the more number of properties, right? That we that all the peoples can get easily understand. Like nowadays we have like soil texture classification. Okay, so based on that classification, we can easily understand the each properties of soil that can help us for better agriculture, even infrastructure development or groundwater recharge, whatever we can we where we are using soil. Okay, then we understand the importance concept related to padon and polypadon. Okay, also we show the Baldwin associated genetic system, and then we come up with what are the limitation of this genetic system, right? What was that? The two highest categories were defined in genetic terms, not on the soil properties, right? As we discussed earlier also, is not based on the soil properties. And this great soil group concept were qualitative. It is not quantitative. Okay, because quantitative is very important, qualitative is also important, but if we want to quantify anything, like what amount of irrigation we need to give, then like how what amount of recharge not a recharge is going through particular soil, then we have some quantifiable number. So that is the major limitation. Okay, and in definition more emphasis was given on the properties of virgin soil which got modified by use. Okay, because virgin soil is fresh soil which is recently developed, and it will be changed during upcoming years as time goes on. So that also one of its limitation. So like that, from that we got to know that we need to require some concrete classification, like we have the just a second. Hi Ashish,
Hello, sir.
how are you?
Fine, fine, sir. How you are, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine. Thanks for joining. Let's continue our session.
Yes.
Okay, so we understand that limitation of earlier classification system, traditional classification system, and that gave us importance of classify soil based on the quantifiable things. Then uh, this classification comes based on the soil properties like soil physical, chemical, and biological properties. So this is the soil taxonomy hierarchy. Okay, in this we started with the highest number is its order, right? So order, we have total 12 number of orders, and in this 12 number of order we have 63 suborders. Then we have some grade groups, and in the grade groups we have subgroups. Then these subgroups have various families, and this family finally have various series. Okay, so this classification is widely known classification in the soil science history, and currently also we are using this. Now, features of soil taxonomy, if we talk, then we know that soil classes were defined in terms of present soil properties. Okay, and all such properties were considered which affect the soil genesis or outcome of soil genesis. Then the nomenclatures were made using Greek and Latin words, that we know that already. Okay, that whatever name this is given is it is based on Greek and Latin words. Then the system is easy to remember, right? And then we show two major classification, that is epipedons and endopedons. And what is epipedons? Epipedons means the surface soil, right? Surface soil classification. So in that we have the various numbers of classification that we have covered, like molic soil, umbric soil, ochric soil, polystick, hillstick, melanic, like that. On the other hand, we have the endopedons, right? And endopedons, what it means? It means, okay. So endopedons means subsurface soil classification, right? So in that also we have the number of classification system, right? It's like we can say agric, albic, arid, right? Then air, erglic, calcic, cambic, and this we can classify based on its organic matter content, color, its water holding capacity, its chemical content. All these things we are considering to classify this. Then we have also captured one important concept related to organic matter accumulation over the time, right? So it will increase as times goes on, uh, right? So okay, so then we covered this. Then next we have discussed about the diagnostic subsurface horizons, right? So in that we have covered important concept related to the clays, organic matter, and oxides. And then we also understand the basic concept of soil formation, its translocation and transformation. So basically this concept we will also covered in soil erosion, right? I also explained about the soil erosion in last slide also, during last week content, right? So what is soil erosion basically? Anyone tell? Ashish?
Yes, sir.
And or anyone? Soil erosion, can you describe soil erosion how we have started last week? Vandana?
Sir, soil runoff.
Okay, good start. Anyone want
Sir, I think soil erosion is a removal of the soil particle or detachment of soil particle from the topsoil and draining with the runoff and accumulated in the rivers or these check dams or the dams.
to? Right. Vandana, you want to give some your view on this? As you are agriculture engineer, I hope you are learning this concept.
No, sir.
Okay, you are first year student or
Yes, sir. First
oh,
sem.
okay, then fine. Okay. You will learn this concept. Okay. So what is soil erosion? Let me briefly describe, as Ashish already described it very well. So basically, we can classify soil erosion as soil erosion is basically occurrence, distribution, and transportation of soil from one place to another place. Right? In soil erosion, we have three processes. So, what is occurrence of soil erosion? Okay, and how it will occur? So, suppose we have soil. Okay, basically you can consider this is soil of your district or nearby area. Now, how soil erosion will happen? For that, we required some physical force. Okay, or some chemical reactions or some biological factor. So let's take example of here rain. Okay, suppose rainfall is falling in your area. Okay, and this rainfall have some particular intensity, right? Either it is high, low, medium, like that. What will happen? This rainfall, due to this rainfall, and it have some kinetic energy. Okay, because it is falling from some height. So due to that, what will happen? That physical force have with this rain that will deattach this soil particle. Okay, so this deattached particle, what will happen? So occurrence here, what is happening in starting? The occurrence of soil deattachment. Okay, then occurrence, then its distribution. Then what will happen over the time? This soil below your nearby area will start to saturation. Okay, means it gets saturated over time because it has certain capacity, right? So due to that, what will happen? If this rainfall will continue to happen, the due to the saturated capacity of this particular soil, slowly the runoff will start. Okay, and what will happen with this runoff? This runoff will carry this deattached soil particle with this. So what is happening here? This is known as distribution. So occurrence, distribution, and transportation. Okay, distribution or transportation, we can say here. Okay, occurrence, distribution or transportation. And lastly, what will happen when runoff will get stopped at the end of catchment? It will get deposited. Okay, so occurrence, transportation and distribution with runoff, and deposition due to the low carrying capacity of runoff. Means the once the velocity of runoff will get reduced, along with that the sediment or eroded soil will also get deposited at lower catchment area. So this complete process is known as soil erosion. Okay, this concept similarly is also happening in subsurface horizon. Like over the time, what will happen? There is a formation of soil. Then this formatted soil, what will happen along with this rainfall or some physical features? This sorry, anyone have any question? Let's continue. Right. So like that, this soil gets translocated from one place to another place in subsurface horizon, and also that gets transformed from one place to another place. That process we understand. Then on next lecture number 8, we have covered various kind of soils, that is anti-soil, then ancestry soils, anti-soils, salisols, histosols, vertisols, and aridisols, right? As we discussed earlier, this all we have classified based on their particular climatic region, its organic matter content, then its soil moisture condition, like it is at either saturated condition, or how what depth of particular soil zone is get saturated, like means its capacity to hold water, right? So anti-soils, what is anti-soils? So it is recently developed mineral soil with no diagnostic horizon, right? It is a low degree of soil and development due to the less time, and it occurs all state in India. Then we have ancestry soil. So soil is an early stage of development and may have one or more diagnostic horizon, and it do not have agrelic horizon. Then we have endosols, that soil are developed from volcanic ash, and it is dark in color, and it have a low bulk density. And this kind of soil is generally not found in India. While we have jelly soils, so it occurs in areas of cold region, like Arctic or Antarctic region, or we can say in how high mountains region like Himalayas, right? So this the principle of defining feature of the soils is presence of permafrost layer. This also not reported in India, but may occur in the snow-covered Himalayas, right? And maybe the Himalayan regions are too vast, and it's also not easy to go there and take samples of all the regions. That may be the reason it's not reported. Then we have aridisols. So it occurs in arid climates, arid and semi-arid, we can say. So soils dry most of the year. Okay, and salt accumulation at the surface or subsurface horizons found in western and northwestern part of India generally. And what is the western part of India? Anyone?
No, sir.
Uh, you can guess western region of India. Which?
Like sir, Gujarat, Rajasthan.
Yeah, exactly. That are the part of western region. Okay, and western region have we have what is the rainfall pattern in western region? We have less rainfall.
Very, very low, sir.
Yeah, so in Rajasthan we have almost around 400 mm, 200 mm rainfall in various region, while in eastern region like northeast, we can say in nearby Seven Sister region, we have high rainfall, uh, and also one of the highest rainfall reported in all over the India is in around that region also, nearby Cherrapunji, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
So all these factor affect this thing. Okay, so aridisols basically we found in western region like Gujarat, Rajasthan, basically desert area. Okay, then we have vertisoils. So vertisoils is that is greater than 50 centimeter thick, black colored and other dark colored soils. Swell when moist and shrink on drying. So swelling and shrink condition is occurring frequently in this kind of soil, which includes deep white cracks. Okay, so that continuously shrinking, swelling and shrinking. That condition develop the cracks in this kind of soil. Okay, that create the path for groundwater recharge. We can say that. Okay. Then we have the high clay content in this kind of soil that is greater than 30% and generally occurs in peninsular India. And what is peninsular India? Anyone?
Sir, Peninsular India is the portion which is below the the like Madhya Pradesh and the Chhattisgarh, like the
Right,
south
right,
portion of the India.
right. We can say Central India, part of some Central India, then nearby Maharashtra, we have this peninsular region. Okay, there we can found this kind of soil, vertisoil. Then we have histosols. In that we have very high organic content. Basically, it is greater than 20%. So this 20% is very high, right? Generally, we have organic matter content in agricultural soil, forest soil. It is about 2%, 4%, around we can say 2 to 5%. But this greater than 20% is too high, and we can generally detect that in histosoils. Then, in continue with that previous lecture, we have again classified some few kind of soils and discuss in detail. Okay, like oxy soils, then multi soils. After that, we have show this diagram, right? Soil taxonomy hierarchy. In that, we have we have see that in soil taxonomy we have basically told a total 12 number of order, and in that 12 number of order we have various suborder. Again, on that suborder, we have grade groups. Under grade groups, we have subgroup. Under subgroup, we have 8,000 family. And under 8,000 family, we have 19,000 series. So then we already discussed this in detail, right? What is family? What is grade group and subgroups? So families is generally within the subgroup as we saw earlier also, and the soil falls into particular family if at specific depth they are a similar physical and chemical properties affecting the growth of plant roots. Generally, we have about 8,000 families which have been identified till now. The criteria used include broad classes of particle size, mineralogy, cation exchange capacity of clay, and temperature, soil temperature, and depth of soil per penetrable penetrable by roots. Then we have grade groups. So grade groups are subdivision of suborders. More than 400 grade groups are recognized. They are defined largely by presence or absence of diagnostic horizon and arrangement of those horizon. This we have shown this example also, right, for molly soils. So main order of this is we can say it is as a molly soils. Then its suborder is aquasols. Then its grade group, one of its grade group is agriquasol, and subgroup is typic agriquasol. Okay, like that we have shown the subgroup. The subgroups are a subdivision of grade groups. Okay, and more than 2,600 subgroups are recognized, and the center concept of grade groups makes up one subgroups that termed as typic. That similar example is given here. At last, in the lecture 10, so we have started with the in continue with this, we have also covered one important concept related to the soil color. Okay, so soil color is basically we can easily by identifying soil color we can say many things about soil like soil organic matter, soil water content, soil nutrient condition, okay, and so on. That's why it is very important to identify its color. And one major indicator of soil color. We can generally identify soil color by reading the Munsell color chart. Okay, that is given here. Its example. So basically, we are using three condition to classify the soil color. Okay, so that is the hue. One we are using hue, then value and chroma. So hue is basically its redness or yellowness. Okay, so here if you can see here, okay, so here it is slightly yellowish, while it when we are going down it is becoming reddish. Like that it is hue. Okay, hue graph, if you are aware that if you will search on internet, you will find more example of hueness. Okay, basically it is like increasing in color darkness. So we have one is a light color to dark color. Then we have some values that define the color. So that also we are using a some number, so that define the lightness and darkness, lightness or darkness. And we have chroma, and that is basically intensity or brightness. Okay, so within same color we have some brightness, right? So like here if you can see here, so its brightness is increasing. Even if you are filtering your photo on photo, right, you are doing some correction, increasing brightness, decreasing brightness, right? So similar concept for soil. Then we discuss soil textural classes. Okay, so soil textural classes convey an idea of size distribution particles and general nature of their physical properties. So as depicted in this soil triangular diagram, we have total 12 textural classes. Sorry. Yes, Vanna. You have any question? Hello. If guys, if you have any question, you can directly ask to me. Ashish, do you have any question? Okay, that's
No, sir.
okay. Okay. I think someone started. It's their mic, so maybe I
Sir,
confused them.
in this course content, like you just taught us that due to the water there is a soil erosion is there,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
how they what is the meaning of the soil erosion, like the detachment, transportation, and deposition.
Right, right.
So also this type of process or the phenomena is happening with the air, like the air erosion, something like that.
Air erosion. Air.
Soil erosion due to the air.
Okay. Yeah, means factor as a factor. Okay. Yeah, that is
Yeah,
happening. So that is known as wind erosion. Exactly right. You
yeah,
are right.
yeah.
So that phenomena is known as wind erosion. So in that similar things is happening. So for soil erosion, what is the fundamental thing we required? We required some physical force. Okay.
Okay.
So either
Hmm.
it is in terms of rainfall or in wind, because you if you see that we covered for Rajasthan, right? In Rajasthan we have
Hmm.
very high wind velocity. Also we have the kind of soils like sandy soil that have properties that gets easily detachable from its own particle. So due to
Hmm.
that certain conditions like sandy soil type of soil, then some windy condition that is favorable for soil erosion, that combinedly that combinedly uh, uh, helps to soil erosion. Okay, yes,
Yes.
that is there. So
Okay, sir.
Okay, so soil texture class, as we discussed. Okay, so this texture diagram is very famous to classify any soil based on its soil physical properties like soil, sand, silt, and clay. Okay, let's continue our session. Right. So how we are classify our soil based on soil texture? So basically we are using sand, silt, and clay. Okay. So what is sand? Sand is basically we can define by its particle size. So whenever we have the soil particle size is between 0.05 to 2 mm, that is known as sandy soil. Okay. Then we have soil. So its size is vary between 0.002 to 0.05 mm, while clay that have size is generally less than 0.002 mm. Okay. Now suppose how we are uh, identifying the soil particle size, right? So that for that we have various kind of techniques, right? That is at by laboratory by some high-end instrument, right? By taking some soil samples from any field, then passing some electromagnetic radiation to that, then based on its reflection we are classifying soil, but that instruments are very costly, okay, and that cannot affordable by all of us. So we also have some traditional techniques to classify this size, and uh, one important method or concept we are following for this is we can say that based on that is based on the stock law. Okay, so in that we are using hygrometer concept. Okay, that is hygrometer basically we are using to define the soil specific gravity. So that concept we are using to define the soil particle size. So once we have the soil particle size and its distribution in soil, then our role is to define the soil type based on this sand, silt, and clay percentage. So from this diagram, once we have the sand, silt, clay percentage, suppose we have 30% clay. So in this diagram, this is sand. Okay, on axis we have sand, then here we have silt, and here we have clay. Okay, so it is 0, 20, 30, 40, 50 like this. Okay, up to 100. Suppose we have 30% clay in our soil. So what we'll do, we'll draw one line here at 30%. Okay, then suppose we have 40% silt. Okay, or let's say 20%. Okay, 20% silt in our soil, whatever soil sample we have taken. Then we have sand percentage in that soil sample is around 50, 60%, let's say 60%. Okay, then one line will draw like this. Then we'll check this triangle what kind of soil is there based on this formation. So here it is sandy clay loam type of soil. Okay, Like that, we can identify any proportion of sand silt clay and its soil type. And why we are classifying this? Anyone? Why it is important to classify soil? Please, guys, discuss. So, if you have any doubt, we can clear it. And also, like that will help you to get your doubts clear. Why we are classifying soil? Nakshi, Vandana, Ashish.
No, sir.
Yeah, you can tell anything. Why we are classifying soil? What means? What is the necessity to classify? You can guess. Even you can say even any single point, whatever is coming in your mind. Ashish.
Sir, I think we classified the soil because the soil having a different property. So we don't know that how the properties varying with the soil type. So for understanding that this type of soil can be this type of property like the hydraulic conductivity or other parameter available water content, and which will further we can use for the modeling or the representation of the study area. So the I think, sir, for the representation of the or the classification of soil is very important to the identify the or the distinguish the a particular area which having the which type of the soils.
Exactly, exactly. Basically, any use, right? What is the major use of soil? Vandana, Nakshi, Vandana.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Why we are using soil? You know what is soil and why we are using soil? Soil for agriculture. We are using Ashish.
Yes, sir, we are using for the crop production. The
Yeah,
different
right,
soil having the different productivity.
right. So we are as a agriculture country, right? Because most of our population engage with agriculture, and also we have larger area that is classified as agricultural soil, right? So now in agriculture also we have around India, right? We have different kind of soil. So how we know what kind of crops we can grow there? For example, for North India, like Uttar Pradesh or Uttarakhand, Bihar, what kind of crop is suitable there? Then we have Western region where we have the different kind of soil. There also we cannot use any random crop, right? We need to make sure that what kind of crop is suitable for that particular climate. Okay. Also, the soil which is present there. So it is not easy. Okay. So for that, it is very important to classify soil that what kind of crops we need to grow there because crop basically require water. Okay. And water we can if we'll apply some irrigation or water to particular soil like sandy soil, so it is not possible for sandy soil to hold more water, right? So it is very important that We cannot do, it is very important to understand that if we'll grow the water intensive crop which requires higher water, and that kind of crop in sandy soil, it will take even more water, right? Because sandy soil do not have that much capacity, while on the other hand, if we take clay soil, okay, it have water holding capacity, right? But it can not drain the water easily. Means it can hold water. So in that case, if we are growing crops that is water sensitive, means it is it cannot suscept excess water. In that case, what will happen? That crops will get die, right? It cannot mature properly. So, to consider all these things, we need to manage our soil resources, water resources, or conserve our soil and water resources properly. We need to understand the soil basic properties, either it is a physical, chemical, or biological, right? So that's why this in first few lectures we are trying to understand what is soil, how it is forming, then how we can classify soil, okay, overall. And basically among the all classification we have shown historically this soil textural classification that is widely acceptable, and this classification basically help us to understand the water holding capacity of any soil, then its nutrient holding capacity, its leachability, okay, and so on. Whatever example or whatever application you can show on soil, either it is agriculture, infrastructure, or you can say some geophysical uh, geophysical interest, right? All this have uh, for all this you need to understand the soil properly, and for that you need to know some basic information about the soil classification. Based on that only you can apply all this concept to the real world problems, okay. So okay, let's take here 5 to 10 minutes break, and then we'll resume our session. If you have any question in between, you can directly ask, or you can also write in the chat box. Okay, let's take a 5 minute break here. I will be there after 5 minutes. Okay, let's continue the session. Do you have any question, guys? Okay, I hope I'm audible. So let's continue our session. So let's start our question and answers session. So in this, basically, we'll cover few MCQs with its explanation. So question number one, which one of the following is an example of zonal soil? Okay, so here various option is given. So let's understand each one by one. Okay, so first is the peat soil. So what is peat soil? That is organic rich soil formed from primarily decomposed plant material in waterlogged condition. Waterlogged condition means when we have the excess water we have supplemented on our field. Okay, particularly when waterlogged condition will occur, it is occurring during when we are applying flood irrigation. Okay, particularly we can say for rice basically. Okay, also in sugarcane in at certain crop growth stage. Second option that we have a clay soil. So it is also waterlogged soil with a poor drainage conditions characterized by gray or blue-green coloration due to reduced iron. Then one example that is alluvial soil. So that is a fertile soil deposited by rivers and streams composed of sand, silt and clay. Right. And where we can find this kind of soil? Basically in river nearby river region. Okay, like most of the region of northern uh, northern region like Uttar Pradesh, Bihar or some part of Uttarakhand, we have alluvial soil, and that is due to the riverine system of Ganga and Yamuna. So these rivers that is coming from upstream of Himalayan regions, right? That is originating from this region. So it carries lots of sediment with it. Okay, and this how it is coming? It is coming by erosion, and this at upstream or this hilly region, the water flow velocity is very high, right? Due to the slope gradient and the kind of rainfall pattern we have there. So due to this high runoff velocity or high river water velocity, whatever erosion is happening from these regions, okay, this hilly area from the rocks, this rocks will come along with the water, and this rocks will over the time gets distinguished into small particles, okay, and ultimately it will form the soils, okay, and the soils basically over the time it forms on the lower part of the Ganga and Yamuna region, right? So whatever soil we have surrounding river area of Ganga and Yamuna, that is largely cover the alluvial soil. Then we have the laterite soil. Then it is basically we found in high weathered soil which is rich in iron and aluminum oxide, and it's generally formed in hot and humid climates. Basically in some parts of West Bengal, sorry, some part of West Bengal, and so right, some part of West Bengal also in few South Indian region we have this kind of soil. So what is correct answer? Correct answer is laterite soil. Why? Because zonal soil is highly weathered soil, right, which is rich in aluminum oxide and iron oxides. Then how many orders are there in USDA soil classification system? So again, this we know, right? Basically, we have total 1900 series of soil that we can group them in 8000 family, and this 8000 family into the 1400 subgroup, and this 1400 subgroups again we can groups under grade groups, and these grade groups again classified under 63 suborders, and total we have 12 order, and this is the 12 order, right? This soil textural diagram, we can say this. In this we have where we can define various kind of soil. Okay, so correct answer is 12 order we have, okay, according to USDA soil classification system. And if you see this graph, we can also classify this triangle based on the soil hydrological group, that is A, B, C, D. And what is this? This is the classification again we are using based on soil water holding capacity. Holding capacity. What is second? Second is soil depth. Based on soil depth, also we are using in hydrological soil group classification. Also, its drainage conditions. So, soil water holding capacity and soil drainage condition. We can define them interrelatively. So, if you see this A group that is defined in green region, okay. So, this green region and A kind of soil like sandy soil, loamy sand, sandy loam, this soil have a very good drainage condition, right? So what it means, good drainage means whatever water will put on this soil, sandy soil, loamy sand soil, what will happen? This water will get easily drainable. Okay, it means the water holding capacity of this kind of soil is very less. And as we go towards D, A, B, C, D, D group, like clay soil, sandy clay soil, clay loam. If you know that when we discuss about the specific surface area, okay, that is volume by area, that is increasing as soil size is decreasing, right? So here we have the clay and here we have sandy kind of soil. And what is the size of clay soil? That is less than 0.0002 mm, while it have 0.222 mm. Okay, so this graph is like this, and here is specific area. Sorry, it is like this. Okay, so clay soil have higher specific surface area, right, as compared to sandy soil. And due to that, what will happen? It have higher porosity. Means number of pores is higher in case of clay soil, and due to that the water holding capacity of this kind of soil is very high as compared to A group soil that have higher drain good drainage condition, while this kind of soil is having poor drainage condition. So our answer is 12 group. Okay, Again, this knowledge is also important to understand each group very uh, specifically, that we can apply this knowledge for our agriculture. Okay, answer is T. Now, third question, soil classification based on the soil particle size distribution is called textural classification, right? As we shown in last slide also, this is the correct, right? How we are classifying this soil as a clay based on its particle size distribution. Particle size distribution is sand, silt, and clay distribution in soil. And how we are doing this? This we are doing based on hydrometer experiment. So this is true statement. Next question, question number 4. The epipedon that has greater than 1% organic matter is known as which soil? Let's explore each option. So molic soil is given here. So molic epipedon is a thick dark colored subsurface horizon that is rich in organic matter with high base saturation. And we have the histic epipedon, that is organic rich surface horizon formed under wet condition, typically composed of peat or muck. Then we have the plagen, so human-made surface erosion formed due to long-term manure application, often found in oh sorry, hello, I'm sorry, I think my slides are visible, but was not. So let's continue our session. So question number 4, and answer for this question is molic soil, right? Whenever the epipodon that has greater than 1% organic matter, that is known as molic epipodon, and that is thick and dark colored surface horizon which is rich in organic matter. The soil epipodon in a similar to molic epipodon but having less than 50% base saturation, right? What is molic epipodon? That have a greater than 1% organic matter. So in this, it have again greater than 1% organic matter but having a less than 50% base saturation. That is in case of, let's see other option, whatever option is given. So ochric epipedon, that is light colored, and when it is light colored means we have the thin color, uh, thin surface horizon, and that have a low organic matter, right? But we require higher organic matter content. This option is not correct here. And we have histic epipedon, which is rich in organic content, formed under wet condition, typically composed of peat and mud. But in this case, we do not have less than 50% of base saturation. Then we have ambric epipedon, which is dark colored surface horizon with a high organic matter but have a lower base saturation than a molic epipedon, right? So this is the correct answer. The triangle used in textural classification of soil is a, what is this? So this Triangle having equal length side, equilateral triangle, is used in a soil textural chart, right? So this soil textural triangle is also known as the equilateral triangle. So correct answer is B. So I don't think so it is required here to again explain this, guys. I hope you know this concept, right? How to read this soil textural graph. Question number 7. So let's take the next question. Which soil order has a diagnostic permafrost layer? Right. Whenever the permafrost frost will come, generally that is related to the hilly region, right? Hilly region, or that is generally cold, wherever snowfall is happening in that kind of region, this kind of layer is existing. So let's explore the option. So andisols, soils formed from volcanic ash and other volcanic materials, characterized by high fertility and unique mineral properties. So it means this is not correct option, right? Because this kind of soil is formed in andisols is formed in volcanic ash and other volcanic materials regions. Then jelly soils. So jelly soils that contain permafrost with 2 meter of surface, typically found in a very cold climates. So this is the answer, correct answer. But let's also understand other options. So histosols. So histosols is basically organic rich soil composed mostly of decomposed plant. Okay, peak or mud, commonly found in a wetlands region. Then we have altisoils, that is highly weathered soil with low base saturation, typically found in a humid tropical subtropical region. So correct answer is B, jelly soils, right? That is related to the permafrost layer. Which soil order has undergone extreme weathering and shows presence of oxides? Extreme weathering in which condition? Let's explore again all the options. So first option is given is arid soils. We know that arid soils generally we found in arid and semi-arid regions like western parts of India, like Rajasthan, which is characterized by low organic content and accumulation of salt and carbonates or gypsum in their soil. Then we have podosoils, that is acidic soils with subsurface accumulation of organic matter, aluminum, and iron, typically found in cooler and humid climates under coniferous forest. Coniferous forest. Then we have altisols that we have shown in last option also here, right? Altisols, that is highly weathered soils with low nutrient content and low base saturation, commonly found in humid tropical and subtropical region. Then we have oxysols, so deeply weathered soil, highly leached soil, rich in iron and aluminum oxide, typically found in tropical forests. So this is the correct answer, right? This is the deeply weathered soil. Deeply or extremely, both words are related. And next question, which soil order is found under grassland vegetation or forest? So generally, let's explain, understand each option. So mollysols, so fertile soils with thick, dark organic rich surface layer, commonly found in grassland ecosystem. Maybe so. This is the correct answer here. Mollysols, arid soils, we generally found in again arid and semi-arid regions like Rajasthan region of India, and it's characterized by the low organic matter content and accumulation of salt and carbonates. Then we have vertisols, that is clay-rich soils that expand when wet and shrink and dry. So right, and it's generally found in tropical and subtropical regions. Then alphy soils, that is moderately leach soil with high base saturation, often found in temperate forest and suitable for agriculture. So in grassland regions and forest area, we have generally discovered the mollysols, and uh, these mollysols are generally fertile soils with a thick and dark, uh, thick layer, and also it have a rich in organic matter content and commonly found in grassland area. Hue parameter tells us about redness and yellowness of the soil color. So exactly this is true. We have shown this concept when we read about the soil moon cell chart, right? Then next question, question number 11. Relative proportion of sand, silt and clay is known as soil texture. Is that true or false? Anyone? Nakshi, Payal, are you there guys? Let's continue. Right, so this concept we already know, concept of soil texture. So we know that relative proportion of sand, silt and clay is known as soil texture. And this proportion we are using to define types of soil based on this soil textural triangular diagram. So this is who gave the morphogenetic system of soil classification. So that we know that Marbut given the classification of soil system based on morphogenetic concept. So let's also take other options. So Jenny basically developed five-factor model of soil formation emphasizing the roles of climate, organisms, relief, parent material, and time in soil development. While Dokuchev, so wisely, Dokuchev is known the father of soil, modern father of soil science, right? Father of modern soil science, we can also consider like that. And he introduced the concept that soil is a natural body formed by environmental factors. So he is the first to say that soil is the natural body and is generally formed by environmental factors. While Marbut, so Curtis Marbut, was an American soil scientist who contributed to soil classification system and emphasized the importance of soil morphology. So morphogenetic system classification is given by Marbut. And while Baldwin classification system, it is a historical soil classification system that laid the foundation of modern soil taxonomy, categorizing soil based on genetic and morphological characteristics. Next question, what are the soil properties which are influenced by soil structure? What is soil structure? So it is arrangement of soil particle, right? Basically, how the soil particles are arranged in particular soil. So soil structure, we have various kind of structure like we have shown in last lecture, lecture 10, right? So soil structure affects permeability, compressibility as well as shear strength. So correct answer is all of the above. But let's understand what is permeability. Permeability is the ability of soil to allow water or other fluids to pass through its porous, and it's influenced by soil. texture, structure, and porosity. Structure like granular structure, right? Then we have core structure. Compressibility is the tendency of soil to decrease in a volume by subjected to the load or pressure, and it is a key factor in a soil settlement and foundation design. So again, it is influenced by soil structure, and shear strength is the maximum resistance of soil to stresses before failure occurs. It depends on the factors like soil cohesion, internal friction, and moisture content. Next question, which soil structure is found in a compacted soil? So option is given platy, blocky, columnar or prismatic. So platy structure is generally arranged in a thin and flat horizon plates, right, which can restrict water and root penetration, commonly found in a compacted soil. So option A is correct, right? Platy soil structure generally found in a compacted soil which restrict the water movement, right? Basically, it is common to understand if our soil system is a compact. Compact means more mass is there per unit volume. If it is one soil is like this and one soil is like this, right? So this is more compact, right? This one is so that restrict the water movement. Then blocky structure, so soil aggregates. So correct answer is plate structure. But let's also explore what is blocky structure. So blocky structure, soil aggregates are irregular and thoroughly cube spaced. Okay, with sharp and rounded edges. So it is like this blocky structure. Some blocks are there, and this promotes root drainage and root penetration. Column structure, vertical column of soil with rounded tops, and prismatic structure. So it is again vertical columns, soil with a flat tops. So this both are more or less similar. This have a rounded tops while prismatic structure have flat tops. Commonly found in arid and semi-arid regions. Question 15. Which soil parameter cannot be altered? Basically, soil structure cannot be altered, texture can be altered. Sorry, soil texture cannot be altered, right? Because whatever particles, soil size of particle is there, like sand, silt, or clay, that arrangement of that particles is structure, and that can be altered by compaction, by having some external forces. That structure can get altered, right? But the soil texture means relative relative proportion of sand, silt, and clay that cannot get altered. And next question, what type of structure is called? So what is this? See, this is column is there, right? But what is its top? Top is flat or rounded? We can see here, right? It is rounded. So this is the columnar structure as we discussed in last slide also. So prismatic structure and columnar structure both are similar. So soil particle arranged with vertical column with flat tops. If this is a flat tops, then that is known as prismatic structure. While if this Polymer top is rounded, that is known as polymer structure, right? Then plate structure, so soil particles are in the thin horizontal layers or plates which can restrict water movement. So it's like a plate, right? Plate structure. And single grain structure found in a sandy soil where individual soil particles remain loose and do not form aggregates, leading to high permeability. Right. So basically, single grain structure is like this: sandy particles that is arranged itself, and it have higher porous in between. So it allows water to permeate. It allow water to move easily within this structure. Next question: which of the following factors influence soil color? So organic matter, water content, presence of oxidation states of iron and manganese oxides, and all of the above. So exactly all of the above will affect the soil color, right? How? So soil organic matter content. So darker the color of the soil, and basically we can say that it darkens the soil color by absorbing more light. Okay, so higher organic matter results in a darker soil, while lower organic matter gives lighter shade. Why? Because the organic matter present in the soil, if it is higher, that absorbs more light. Okay, that if it absorbs more light, that will become darker in color. Okay, then if our water is present in particular soil, okay, then due to that what will happen? If we'll add water in soil, that water color of that soil become darker because of water increase the light absorption. So basically the soil color is, you can define by light absorption, right? If high organic matter content, it will absorb light higher, right? And if the light absorption is higher, it forms darker color. Similarly, if we have higher water content in our soil, again it absorbs lights higher, and we have darker color. When presence of iron, uh, presence and oxidation states of iron and manganese oxides. So iron and manganese give soil a reddish and yellowish hue when oxidized, while reduced iron results a grayish and bluish soil colors. So this also relates to the soil color. What? Presence and oxidation state of iron and manganese oxide. So all of the above is the correct answer. Next question, state whether following sentence is true or false. Soil color is not used as diagnostic criteria for classifying soil and has no significance in landscape aesthetics. No, this sentence is false, right? Because we are using soil color as a diagnostic criteria for classifying soil, and it also has aesthetics importance, right? Next question, which of the following components are used in Hunsell color chart to describe soil color? So we know that what we are using: hue, value, and chroma, right? Option C. Let's see what is hue. Hue is basically represent the dominant of wavelength of color indicating the type of soil component. Basically, we are hue given is it is a redness or yellowness. While value is determines how light or dark the soil appears. While chroma, it is describes the strength and purity of the color. Okay, so intensity or brightness. Chroma means strength and purity of color by value. Value determines how light or dark the soil appears, and hue is represent the dominant wavelengths of color, indicating the types of soil components. Option C is correct. Which of the following represent the correct hierarchical orders of soil classification in soil taxonomy from broadest to more specific? So we know that as we are going towards series, right? That is a more specific one, and the broadest one is order. So under order, we have suborder, right? Under suborder, we have a grade group. Grade group, we have a subgroup. Then we have family, and at more specific stage, we have lots of series. So option B is correct, right? Next, which of the following is not diagnostic surface horizon in a soil taxonomy? You know that correct answer is option B, cambic. Why? So epipedons are diagnostic surface horizon, right? Epipedon, and that play a key role in soil classification. They represent the uppermost mineral exploration, mineral horizon, specific characters of organic matter, color, and structure. And if you see here, the cambic, that cambic is not a diagnostic surface horizon. It is subsurface horizon, endipedon, right? While other is molic, umbric, histic, all that are epipedon. Next, question number 22. Which of the following statement is true about the fallistic epipedon? Again, epipedon means surface soil, right? So, option C, it has a higher organic content ranging between 8 to 16% depending on the clay content. This option is correct about fallistic epipedon. As explanation of other sentences also given here, due to time constraint, we are not covering all this. Question number 23. Which of the following characteristics is true? Sorry. Okay. So which of the following characteristics not true for an ochric epipedon? Again, this is the factual question, right? So it has hard and very hard when dry, and it is less than 1% organic matter content. So it is true that is a ochric epipedon. Now, question number 24. Which of the following statement is true according to organic matter accumulation in soil? So, organic matter accumulation starts before vegetation is established. So, see here, this chart explains the organic matter accumulation. If you can see here, when vegetation established in particular soil, and this is the parent material start. Okay, so after vegetation establishment, the soil organic matter accumulation will begin. So this first option is incorrect. Second is histic epipedon have a highest organic matter content among all epipedon. So this is right. Why? Because we know that histic epipedon is organic rich surface horizon that forms under saturated condition and accumulating large amount of organic material over time, right? While other epiperdon options are given here, right? Because molic and emeric epiperdons have a moderate to high organic matter content, but that is not high of histic epiperdon. Ocric epiperdons that have a least organic matter accumulation, right? So that is also not correct. So option B is correct here only. And last option which is given is organic matter accumulation in soil takes peak in 500 years. No, that is not right, right? Organic matter accumulation take thousands of years with peak Tmax occurring around 3000 years. Next question, which of the following is not a scientific method of irrigation scheduling? So here various option is given, that is soil indicator based, water balance, neighbors field based, climatological data. So they are asking about non-scientific irrigation scheduling method, right? So non-scientific means we are not using any science in that. So here by just looking at your neighbor's fields, what they are doing on their field, they are giving irrigation when, how, and where. We are just simply following that without much involving other parameters, soil parameter or water requirement conditions for our soil or any climatological data. Means C is correct. Next, which of the following is considered as traditional approach to irrigation scheduling? Which one is traditional approach? Soil indicator based, plant appearance based, water balance or climatological data? We know that plant appearance based method that we can classify it as a traditional approach because the soil indicators are using various kind of soil moisture sensors right beneath the soil surface at various depths. Then water balance again involve the scientific approach that is not traditional, and climatological data like rainfall or temperature. Based on that we are planning irrigation scheduling. That is emerging topic or area where still research is growing. So correct answer is B. Now let's also solve some match type of question. Question number one, various kind of soil is given and its description. So let's quickly resolve this, right? So aquic soil, we know that aquic soil is soil saturated with water for sufficient periods causing glaying and mottling. While woodic soil, so woodic soil is soil moisture is sufficiently high year around to meet the plant needs. While woostic soils, moisture regime is intermediate between woodic and acidic. And in acidic, we know that soil saturated with water for sufficient period. And acidic, what is acidic? Acidic is soil is dry for at least half for a growing season. Means most of the time soil is dry. So this is we know and we learned this during soil moisture regime classification, right? When we understand the soil moisture regime, soil temperature regime also we covered. I'm not covering that question here, but yeah, that's also important. So again, this is again a very simple question, right? And this question basically the sand, silt, and clay, that is soil soil texture, or we can say the soil particles based on its size is given, right? And sand, we know that the size of sandy soil or sand soil is between 0.2 to 0.2 to 2 mm, while silt soil have 0.022 to 0.002 mm, while clay have size less than 0.002 mm, right? Now based on this size, it have some water holding capacity, and once we'll order uh, add water in this kind of soil, what will happen? That have certain properties, and by filling that properties, by adding water, we can easily distinguish that the soil is either sandy, silty, or clay. Okay, apart from that, due to the higher specific surface area of this clay soil, this kind of soil have a higher water holding capacity as well as nutrient holding capacity, and it feels like sticky with nutrient holding capacity, right? Higher nutrient but slow release rate, right? And silty soil, that is smooth and sticky feel with moderate water holding capacity. And sandy, we know that this kind of soil have a very low water holding capacity because it have a larger porous size that allows the water to drain easily, and it feels gritty. Okay, okay, so this is end of today's session. So we covered some important topics what we covered during previous week 2 about soil taxonomy. Basically, we learned about some historical or development in first week. Then this week, basically, we have talked about soil textural classification based on soil triangular diagram. Also, we saw some few soil structures that is also important to enhance our knowledge on soil science. Then also we understand soil moisture regimes, then soil temperature regimes concept, and also how soil organic matter accumulate over the time. So that's it for today's session. So if you have any question, guys, you can ask. We have few minutes left. Anyone? Minakshi, Payal, Tanji, anyone? Hello, am I audible? Hello. Okay, I hope you enjoyed today's session. So let's end here today's session. Okay, so on next week we'll discuss some important concept related to soil tillage, soil density, porosity, consistency, soil water energy balance concept. So let's end up here today's session, and we'll meet on next Friday. It is on 7th February. So thank you so much for joining today. Thank you so much.